All right, welcome to another episode of This Week in Zone. Tonight, I have a new guest co-host. I got my co-commissioner, Al Gall, with me tonight. How you doing, Al?
I'm good. How's everybody doing?
Are you all ready to analyze these teams? Maybe do a little bit of trash talk and have a little fun with that?
Absolutely.
All right, sounds good. I'm assuming you're in a pretty good mood because of how your team might be doing this year.
I think they're doing okay. I'm not really paying much attention to it. I mean,
I'm sure you have been. And in honor of you being the co-host tonight, I think we're going to start with the Langway division first. So let's take a look at the Langway division.
sounds good to me.
All right, so you can see we got the scores of the week up here, and look who's sitting in first place, but none other than the Living Skies Capitals. They are currently 9-1 for 18 points. Not only are they number one in the Langway division, they're number one in the no control zone. For the
Sounds
week,
good to me.
I know. For the week, the Caps went 2-0, which is pretty obvious. Beating the Lakers 4-2. That was a big game. And the Caps also took care of business with flying colors. So why don't we take a look at the Caps Lakers game first? Oh, I got to go down. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, got to back up a week.
Back up a week to period 5. Here we go. My apologies. Probably should have done a retake, but what the hell with it. Okay, I see the Caps in flying colors here first. So let's see how you did against flying colors. It looks like you handled them pretty easy. No doubt about that. The only thing.
Yeah, not too bad. My goalies, neither of them wanted to play very well this week, so only one win out of the whole week. But
and you got Holtby and Price, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So low save percentage, not even any points. A Canadian division, man, that's a weird one. I'll tell you, with goaltenders and that,
it is.
Holy smokes! One of the funniest memes I think I seen was it had a thing from TSN, and it goes, "The North Division has 7 out of the 8 top goal scorers in the league," and it wasn't a meme. It was actually a thing that pops up on my Facebook from TSN, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm going, I'm not so sure that's such a good thing, guys. That kind of means
every game in that North Division is 6-3, 5-2. Like, the goalies can't stop a beach ball. They're letting in 5 a night. It's terrible.
I know, it's crazy. It's like, hey, do you guys know anything about defense in that Northern Division at all there?
Apparently not.
All right, let's take a look at your big game of the week, though. That was a little closer than the Flying Colors one, and Renee came down to you with the goaltending, but he still got you in one category, and that's where he got one of his goals. And he handily beat you in the assist, but you completely destroyed in goals.
Yeah, it's
who are your big
through the middle of the week. I sent Renee a message and said, "Geez, looks like neither of our teams wants to win this week." It was back and forth. It was 3.5. 4-3, 4-3 the other way. It was like neither team wanted to win this week.
Who are your big goal scorers?
Goal scorers for the week were
pretty even so
well,
far.
not Backstrom, because 3 of the 4 Caps games were canceled, so he didn't get any goals.
Yeah, it looks like here is
2 from Marchessault, 2 from Brown. Yeah, not much at all.
Pretty evenly spread out. Yeah, so that's pretty solid there. But Renee had you in the assist, but overall, because your goals were so strong, you took them into points. So that was a big win for you. 2-0 for the week. So we got the Living Skies Capitals sitting in first place in the Langway division. In second place, looks like Nick wasn't going to let go of you. Move like Jagger. No. They stayed up there as well, and they also had to face off against the Lakers this week. They are now 8 wins, 1 loss, and 1 tie, and they are second in the Langway division, but They are also second in the NCZ. So right now, currently, Langway holding the top two teams. Kind of impressive there. For the
Yeah,
week,
we both had the same two games this week. We both
yep,
played Flying Colors and the
Flying
Lakers.
Colors and the Lakers.
Yep.
So Nick went 2-0 during the week. MLJ won 7-0 against the Lakers. He completely handed it to Renee and beat Flying Colors 6-1 as well. Neither the Capitals or Moose Lake Jagger moved in the standings this week. They're still in the same spots where they were.
Yeah.
So I guess let's take a look at how did Nick take care of the Lakers so handily here? Where are we?
Up at the right.
Top right. There we are. Oh my. Yep. 7-0.
Yep.
Couple of close categories, but a couple
Yep.
of complete wins for Nick. 14 goal difference in the plus minus. Only 2 in the assists, but once again, it looks like Nick did the same thing that you did to Renee. Totally pounded him in the goals. Renee got no goals this week.
Yeah, no goals from his team.
Yeah, and MLJ also takes Renee in the penalty minutes. So rare to have this happen, but it's been happening a lot lately. People are finally starting to catch up to Renee and the Pims.
Yes.
And it looks like Nick easily won in the points department. So yeah, this was a pretty easy win for Nick at 7-0 there for sure. Well done, Nick. And against the Flying Colors was he totally owned Garrow.
Yeah.
Totally owned him in this game. So impressive. The MLJ staying right on your tail there, Al. There you are, 9-1, and you're only 1 point in the lead.
I know. I should be pulling away.
I know. That's a big one. Oh my gosh. Talking about the team in third place. What a week for this team. My heart goes out to you, Dino, the Call Rangers. They're left with a record of 5 wins, 4 losses, 1 tie for 11 points. This was no doubt a COVID week for Dean, and I know because I played him, and it's like 3/4 of his active players were on those COVID teams. And how he even did what he accomplished this week is absolutely amazing, but I think it kind of helped a lot by the draw that he got. So for the week, the Rangers went 1-1. Rangers beat the Flames of Fleury that are, man, they're hard to figure out right now, but they beat them 4-2. But they lost to the Islanders 4-3. And Colwood stayed basically in the same position they were last week by going 1-1, which helped them out a lot. I felt for Dean. All Dean actually needed was one more plus in the plus minus department. Let's take a look at it right now.
I think you should request a recount.
Yeah, I should do a Trump recount here. He could have won with 1 goal. If and he had the guys going too. He had Ratnan and Kadri going in against Taves in the last game of the week. So 1 goal from those guys would have given him a plus. Plus, it would have given him a half a goal there. So he would have actually ended up 2-0 when his team was absolutely 100% depleted. It's nice to see some teams are coming back this week.
Yeah.
Were you watching any of Dean's games? Did you see any of them throughout the week? Did you see his list? It was crazy. I never seen
Yeah,
it.
he was
7, 8, 9 guys postponed.
Yeah, I had a lot of guys on that COVID there as well, but nowhere near the amount that Dean had. Dean just got decimated. His team was just destroyed.
He got decimated, but he at least held his position. He
did,
and got 500 for a week that probably should have had 2 losses. But I think it was fortunate that he drew the teams that he drew. It's funny though. I would have thought he would have beat the Islanders and lost to the Flames. I would have thought it would have been the other way around.
Yeah, I would have guessed the other way around as well.
Didn't work that way. Anyway, our 4th place team in the Langway division is the Port Elgin Wolfpack. They're sitting at 4-5-1 for 9 points. They had a a bad week, 0-1-1. So that didn't work out too well for them there. The Pack tied Pitter Patter, and we know Pitter Patter right now is in a rebuild. So we probably should have beaten Pitter Patter, but they lost to the Brewers as well. They lost 4-3. So that took them to a week of 0-1-1, which brought them under 500 for the first time this season. And once again, the Wolfpack hold position in fourth place. What did you think of the Wolfpack's week? What do you think of the Wolfpack week?
Oh yeah, they. I thought they would have done a lot better as well. They got a fairly good team, but yeah, I would have expected more out of the team that he had playing the guys he was. He's yeah.
Only
What did he
18
get?
points. So that was a bit of a killer for the Pack.
Yeah, what did his players get for him during the week? Aho and McKinnon and 2 points.
Yeah.
McKinnon had nothing.
Well, yeah, he was pint, and Matthews
Yeah.
got him 3 points. So
Yeah,
that's 3.
3 points from
Cale
Schmaltz,
McCarty.
but that's about it. He's only got about 4 or 5 guys that got him any points there.
Cale McCarr didn't play because the game's postponed. D'Angelo hasn't suited up yet for any team because he hasn't been traded. Pugliarvi was on the COVID list, even though Edmonton was playing. So,
yes,
yeah.
So yeah, his players kind of let him down.
Yeah, it could have just been a bad week for the Wolfpack. So,
yep,
it makes for a tough week for them going 0-1-1.
Yeah, I expect him to come back better this week.
All right, but do we ever have a jump into 5th place? Sealand HC, with a record of 3-6-1 for 7 points, are now in playoff contention. They went 2-0 for the week for the first time this season. They beat the Islanders handily 7-0, and they beat the Flames 6-1 as well. What do you think of Sealand?
Yeah, that team's an anomaly. I thought he was going into a rebuild and was going to be looking at trying to stay in that bottom group, but he might have, like you always say, once you get into the playoffs, anything can happen. So looks like he's
right now, as you look at it, he's only 2 points behind Bo for the 4th playoff spot. So technically, he's in playoff contention right now.
Oh yeah, yep.
So a decision to be made there for sure. We should mention, though, the Wolfpack are not in a playoff spot. Once again, the wild card spot would be going over to the Bossy division. So both the Wolfpack and Sealand will have a little bit of work to do.
Yep.
All right, let's go up to number 6, brewing up some suds. It's obvious which direction this team has chosen to go. They're now 3-7 for 6 points, and the best way to describe this team right now is a free fall. They have the current highest losing streak in the league right now of 6 games in a row with a loss, and this week was no exception, going 0-2. The Bruins lost to the Brewers 5-2, and they lost to Pitter Patter as well, 6-1. So they got destroyed by Pitter Patter, who is also rebuilding. So what does that tell you?
Yeah, I think after week 2, he decided it was time to rebuild, and he's gone straight downhill since then.
Yeah, I'm still not really that happy with his answer from last week's podcast when I asked him, your team was 24 3-2, and you decided to rebuild, or 24-4-2, whatever it was.
Yeah,
but it was ridiculous. Like I would die for a record like that to be going. So I have no idea what he saw in the rebuild to want to jump on that. Don't know what you're up to there, RK. Really don't. But hey, you're definitely in the battle for the first overall pick this year.
Well, I hope he's got a plan.
There must be some plan there. Let's see. Yeah, look at this here. The Brewers pretty much handily beat them in everything except for, they're still beating the big bad Bruins with 25 minutes of penalties. So they got that going for them anyway. So They may be losers, but they're tough. Let's see what happened in Pitter Patter one though here. Oh, well, the goaltending was 2 goals for Pitter Patter right there. And everything else was tight except for the goals.
Except for the Pims.
Yeah. Pims and goals were the 2 farthest there. And yeah, so that's how Ryan is now on a 6-game losing streak. However, tied in 6th place is also the McCauley Mustangs. McCauley Mustangs are 3-7 as well with 6 points. They went 0-2 for the week. We beat the Bears beat them 5-1, and the Oilers beat the Mustangs 6-1. So, what do you think of Keith's team?
Well, Keith definitely in rebuild mode, and yeah, he's there. I think he's right where he wants to be, down in the bottom there, going for the high draft picks.
Yeah, still fairly respectable numbers by the Mustangs. Not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all.
Not bad. Yeah, it's hard to tell which way everything's going to go this year with the COVID. You have no idea. I definitely learned that this week with Dean's team.
Oh yeah,
he should have won a game, and he went 1-1. But COVID could just come along and destroy your team.
We said that at the beginning of the year, right? That some teams were going to miss whole weeks and maybe multiple weeks with the COVID protocols and stuff. And there's not much we can do about that. We just have to play through it and hope that our teams like Dean's manage to, pull out 500 for the week if that happens.
And see, I figure it the other way around. COVID killed me for my tank. There's a couple of different ways to go and look at this thing here. All right, but bringing up the bottom of the division, and boy, they're stinking up the joint, is the Quebec City Outlaws. 1-8-1 for 3 points for the week. They went 0-2. The Oilers beat them 5-2, and the Bears beat them 6-0. So JP, in my opinion, will definitely be in contention for first overall pick this year.
Oh yeah, he's firmly cemented himself at the bottom there, and he's doesn't look like he has any hope of climbing out of there. So he's definitely going for that first overall pick in the draft.
But look at here, his goaltenders are still putting up a good fight. Seven points for the week, and 900 save percentage, but that's got to come up. But it looks like I guess that's going to happen on a bad team, though, right? They're going to get badly outplayed.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So they get destroyed. I don't see them. It'll be tough for them to win another game this year, and I'm not even sure if they're going to be able to. So let's take a look at the standings for the Langway division. There we are. We got Living Sky Capitals 9-1, Moves Like Jagger 8-1-1, Colwood Rangers 5-4-1, Wolfpack 4-5-1, Sealand 3-6-1, Brunups and Suds 3-7, Mustangs 3-7, Quebec Outlaws 1-8-1. That is a very tight division up top with you and Moves Like Jagger, and then it gets tight again between the Rangers and the Wolfpack. The 4 teams that are in there right now, I kind of see as the 4 teams making the playoffs. However, what about Sealand?
Yeah, Sealand could he's been making a push, so he might challenge for one of those 2 spots there, and hard to say.
He moved up 2 spots this week in the standings. That's not an easy accomplishment.
Wow.
I mean, if you think about it, a week ago, he was 1-6-1.
Yep.
Quite a difference in that team. So be interesting to see how Sealand does this week. And there's your standings for the Langway division. All right. Next up will be the Bossy division. So we're back in the Bossy division now, where there was some significant changes this week. So we got a lot to talk about with the Bossy division for sure. We have a new division leader, yet an old division leader. Coming up one spot in the division was the New Brunswick Bears, and Dan the Man has taken over first place in the Bossy division with a 7-1-2 record for 16 points. That's good enough for third in the no control zone. This week, Dan went 2-0. The Bears beat the Mustangs 5-1, and they beat the Outlaws 6-0. Not much competition.
Yeah, it was a pretty easy week for him. It looks like he handled them both pretty easily. Not too bad at all. So what does scores look like?
Goaltending was huge.
Yeah. Yeah, his goaltenders put up good numbers this week for sure. That's an easy 2 points there. And then Pims were even, and what's the assists and plus minus, I guess, were the next goals were pretty close.
Dan's a pretty strong team. He's got a pretty good team going here. He's got Bergeron, McDavid, O'Reilly, Ovechkin.
Yeah.
That's a solid team. He's got a good contender in goal. Obviously, he's got to be doing okay because Fleury and Mrazek.
Yep.
Yeah. If he gets those goaltenders on the right week, he could be tough to beat. And
definitely.
Yeah.
Fleury's playing hot again, so
that he is. He wants his job back.
Yep.
Oh my, there's no contest. Well, I shouldn't say no contest against JP because JP's goaltending was strong. We'd already looked at that once before.
Yeah, JP had fairly strong goaltending, but not enough to overcome the Bears.
Anyway, great.
Looks like every other category he was handled quite handily except for the Pims as well. So, yeah.
So great week for Dan. Congratulations, Dan the Man, jumping into first place in the Bossy division. However, somebody's been on his tail and also jumped up a position in the Bossy division standings this week, and that was the Calgary Oilers. Calgary Oilers are 7-2-1 for 15 points and only a point behind the Bears. They are fourth in the no control zone overall. For the week, the Oilers went 2-0. Beating the Mustangs 6-1 and beating the Outlaws 5-2. Once again, the same as Dan, same competition, not much competition.
Yeah. Blake's team is he's made a lot of changes to the team since he took over, and looks like they've all been good. It's working out for him. Everything's coming up good for the Calgary Oilers.
Yeah, goaltending looks great at .938 and 6 points for the week. That's solid. That's solid goaltending right there. Let's take a look at Blake's goaltenders. What you got? Oh, Kemper and Anderson. Yeah, solid, two very solid guys. What do you think of that Arizona St. Louis going 7 games in a row against each other? It's like a mini playoff series.
Yeah, it is. It's like a whole playoff series they're playing. That's with these divisions and the way it works out. There's lots of 3, 4, 5 game, but that's a 7 game set. That's
but the winner was Arizona. 4 games to 3, plus they both got a loser point.
Yeah, exactly.
So, wow, that was impressive by Arizona's part. Impressive. All right, back to the no control zone though over the NHL. That's what we're talking about. Congratulations to Blake moving up into second place. That's the highest he's ever been. So good for you, Blake. Keep the onward and upward going. Now we got to talk about third place. Third place is, unfortunately, RK and myself talked about this very thing last week on This Week in the Zone. We talked about the possibility of the Harrison Lakers possibly losing 2 games, that they could actually fall down to third place if depending on how the other teams did. And obviously the other teams did well. So the Harrison Lakers dropping 2 spots. Their record's now 7-3, 14 points. For the week, they went 0 wins, 2 losses. However, no denying they had the toughest competition we've seen in 1 week this season, having to play both MLJ, who beat them 7-0, and the league leading Caps 4-2.
Yeah, it was a rough week for the Lakers. He had to take on the 2 top teams in the league, and it wasn't an ass kicking by me by any means. It was a close game, but I managed to squeak out the win. So yeah, that drops him down 2 spots into a tie for third in the Bossy.
So who came for you in this week? Who came through for you?
Oh, we looked at that. There was a few guys that came through, but like my Caps didn't play. They were supposed to have 4 games. They only had 1 because of COVID. St. Louis was the same. Anybody that played Philly that I had couldn't play. So it was a rough week.
How was Renee's team for COVID?
I don't know. I didn't look at his. I wasn't paying attention to his for the COVID stats on his. Is that his there? Yeah. He had a lot of guys that didn't play this week though too. So I'm assuming some of those were COVID related as well.
Not a whole lot this week. Not a
No.
whole lot. So Renee kind of escaped. That was another thing I should have mentioned with me playing the Rangers. The only reason I absolutely beat him is because I was completely, really not affected by the COVID week.
Yeah.
Richard Panic was the only one I lost. And you know what? I could sit his ass on the bench any day of the week anyways.
Exactly. It wasn't a big loss.
So what a weird season how that can happen. Like a guy like Dean get absolutely, totally 100% decimated. Nothing to me, man. So,
Yep.
And so the Lakers don't look like they were affected that bad, but still a good game between you guys.
It was.
How did Nick do against him? Well,
Nick handed him.
You know he won 7-0, but it looks like he okay. This one was a dominating game.
Other than Pims, where they were close, I think the rest of it was pretty dominant by Nick.
Nice week for Nick. So are you a little worried about Nick?
I am worried about Nick. Yeah.
It will definitely be a game of the week when you guys do play each other for sure.
Absolutely.
All right, so a tough week for Renee, but Renee, you got to learn to see how the rest of us feel in the league every once in a while.
That's right.
But,
He needs a bit of humility. He needs to be knocked down a few pegs.
But it's crazy, you know, like he's 7-3 and in third place right now. But I could see him the way the schedule is formed. He won't be playing you or Nick again.
No.
I could see Renee running the table from here.
He very well could.
And he could end up with the CDS. So never bet against Tom Brady, never bet against Renee. I said that.
Absolutely.
Before, so.
You said that last week. Yeah, definitely.
However, another man who's on a mission, and you could almost say that the Lakers kind of dropped 3 spots because they're only tied for third place right now. The man on the mission is Dono. Dono, the East Coast Brewers are also 7-3 for 14 points. And they have won 4 in a row, which currently is the longest winning streak in the no control zone. They went 2-0 for the week. They beat the Pack 4-3, and they also beat the Bruins 5-2.
Yeah, Dono's turning it on. So I mean, you know, nobody remembers how you started the season; it's how you finish, right? So he's got a strong move towards the top right now.
Well, he went and made the moves with the trades and whatnot, so he's getting what he deserves for sure by winning and whatnot. And that so. I still think the one spot was the area that for some reason, I'm guessing that it's his philosophy. He doesn't put much onus into defenseman points.
Yeah.
Because if we can find a weakness on this Brewers team, it's definitely there. Like you can see here, a bunch of pretty much no names, but
yeah, that's true.
That could be what hurts Dono. However, as we reported earlier today about the trade deadline, it's going right to the end of the season. So there's still possibilities of even shoring that up before going into the playoffs.
Yep.
All right. Congratulations, Dono. On the way up. Good work at rebuilding that team. And now we go to the 5th place team who dropped 1 place in the standings this week, and that would be Flying Colors. They are 5-5 for 10 points. However, they are in the playoff spot right now. At 5-5, they would take the last playoff spot with the wild card spot because currently the Wolfpack are 4-5-1 for 9 points. Flying Colors 5-5 for 10 points. That spot belongs to Flying Colors right now. So Garrow is still in a playoff spot, even though he went 0-2 for the week. He lost to 2 tough teams, losing to Moose Lake Jagger 6-1 and losing to the Caps 5-2 as well.
Yeah, he took a hit this week, but he's still got a fairly solid team, and yeah, he's in a playoff. He's in that crossover position, so he's still got the ability there to make the playoffs and come away with it.
Yep, it looks like he had a great save percentage for goaltenders, but I'm guessing whoever that I'm thinking it must have been only one game. Yeah, it was one game.
It was only one game.
Yeah.
Grubauer
at
played,
9:58 and he lost. So
and I think he lost. It was a 2-1 loss, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a great game. I watched it actually, so it was really good.
It was a good game.
Yeah, for sure. So Garrow still hanging around, 5th spot in the Bossy, but good enough for a wild card spot in the no control zone. Good for you. Another rebuilding team now, and they are in the same position that they were in last week. In 6th spot is Pitter Patter. They are now 3-6-1 for 7 points. I'm not sure the week went exactly how they were hoping, but they still grabbed a point anyway, going 0-1-1. They lost to the Bruins 6-1, and they tied the pack 3-3.
No, they went 1-1, didn't they? They beat the Bruins and tied the pack.
No, they lost to the Brewers 4-3 up here.
No, next one over.
Yep. Oh yeah, they beat the Brewers. Oh, my apologies. Yes.
Yeah, they went 1-1.
1-0-1. That's why I said it, the week.
Oh, sorry, 1-0-1. Yes.
That's why I said the week didn't go as planned, because he's rebuilding, and I don't think he wanted to go 1-0-1 by winning a game against the
No, I
Bruins,
don't think
but
he wanted the win.
it was going to be tough to lose to the Bruins this week, and even though some of the categories, pretty close. Just not
Close.
Goaltending's got 2 goals right there. But the points, just about the same. So
Yeah, close there.
good week or bad week for Steve? That's kind of hard to tell. Depends which way you look at it, I guess.
Yeah, I think they're still rebuilding, so probably a bad week. He was probably hoping for at least 0-2.
And of course, the thing with having that loss to the Bruins, let the Bruins go further down the ladder as well. So
yeah,
it was kind of a double whammy for Pickup this week.
Yes.
All right, coming up in 7th place, we got a tie. The Quebec City Outlaws, who are 1-8-1 for 3 points. They are tied for last in the NCZ, the whole league. This week going 0-2, where the Bears easily trounced them 6-0, and the Oilers took them out 5-2 as well. What do you think of JP's team?
You went to the Quebec City Outlaws?
Yep.
That's the other division.
What?
We should be on Flames of Fleury now.
Oh, that's right, dude. Oh, wow.
Geez, you're all over the. How much weed did you smoke?
I guess a lot. I could do a retake there, but you know what? I think I'm going to go for realism in the show here.
Just let it ride, baby. Let it ride.
So, yeah. Oh, I know what I was doing. I was thinking at the time.
You were thinking
the league. I was thinking the entire league that they were tied for last. So, in 7th place in the Boston division, and this one actually, I don't know, man. Like, what the hell, Wes? Like, holy Christ, you guys suck or what?
Yeah.
I mean, man, there's no way this team should be 1-7-2 right now. That is just brutal.
Yeah, it's baffling why his team is not doing better than it is. Like,
well,
he's got a decent team. It's just
he still has time. There's still time for him to get up there and take a run, especially if he can. I think he's got to look at it as Garrow is the guy he's got to pass.
Yes.
And then I don't think he's getting to 3rd spot.
No, but he even lost to the Rangers this week.
4th spot.
He
Yeah, I
lost to
know.
the Rangers this week, and the Rangers had half a team,
And I did everything in my power to lose.
and you
to the
couldn't
Rangers,
lose
and I
against them.
couldn't.
So I don't know.
That is so funny. Well, let's take a look at how he lost to the Rangers. Oh, I forgot about this. This one is a beauty. So basically, he lost this game because of 1/1000th of a goal
Save percentage.
So we got 0.9368 and 0.9367.
6-7.
1/1000th of a point, or that game would have ended up in a tie for sure. I love it when it comes down to that kind of tiebreaker. That's especially if you're on the winning side. If you're on the losing side of it,
Yeah, if you're on the losing side, it doesn't look so good.
Wes. I wonder if Wes knows that. I hope I know Wes watches the podcast, so he's definitely gonna know about it now. But I wonder if he knows about it.
That's right.
That's pretty.
It was a
look at the
tight
Ranger,
game.
11 points. 11 points.
Yeah.
He won.
Yeah. Beat him by 1 goal, couple plus minus, and 5 PIMs. Like,
well,
wow.
Wes has encouraged me to. He said, feel free to say what you really feel about the Flames. So I'm not holding back this week, man. They fucking bite.
Yep. Like I said, his team on paper looks a lot better than the record shows.
It is a lot better than it shows. I don't know if it's just this crazy week. Like I said, there's still time for West to make a run into the playoff spot. But like I said, I really only see one entry into the playoffs for West, and that is, well, it's twofold. One, he has to catch flying colors because I don't believe he'll catch 4th place. I don't think he'll catch either the Lakers or the Brewers. He's just way too far behind.
Yeah.
And so first he's got to catch flying colors, and then second he has to beat out both the Wolfpack over in the Langley. So he's got to kind of catch. Yeah. There's 2 teams he's chasing right now. If I was West, I'd have my eyes on all the Wolfpack games, and I would have my eyes on
the flying colors games.
See what's going on.
And definitely, those are the 2 teams that he needs to. He's in a race with those 2 teams for that final playoff spot.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's and this season's moving at record speed. 2 weeks ago, we were 1/4 of the way past the season being finished. Last week, which is only 1 week later, we were over 1/3 of the way from being finished the regular season. And now another week later, which is this week, we're just a little below the halfway point.
Halfway point. Yep. Yeah, it's a condensed year, and it's everything's going to happen a lot quicker.
So if he's going to get anything done, he's got to start moving this week.
Absolutely. You can't have he can't have an off week now. He basically has to have good weeks all the way out.
He's gonna love this one since it's Calgary fan and Flames, and got to think of Stampeders too. Wes, you're gonna make the playoffs. Better get on the horse, buddy. Get him moving. The time is now.
The time is now for Wes. He's gotta get moving.
All right, so that brings us to the team who's been in last place the entire season in the Bossy division. That would be yours truly. Here I am. Yes, once again.
Tied for the bottom of the league.
Tied for the bottom. But guess what, folks? Guess what? I went up a position this week. I'm now tied for 7th. Tied for 7th. I was all by myself in 8th place, but now I actually moved up a spot. So the Courtney Islanders are 1 win, 8 loss, 1 tie for 3 points. And they got their first win of the season this week, going 1-1. The Islanders beat the COVID Rangers 4-3. And however, I was not expecting to get so thumped by Sealand 8C. Man, they laid a beating on me. Let's take a look at that.
Yeah. Like we said when we talked about them, they had a good week and
numbers. Right across the board.
That'd be decent numbers against any of the teams in there.
Yep. Yeah, and all they got to really do is catch the. Well, they got to catch two teams, the Wolfpack and Flying Colors, but they're not that far off.
No, they're
2 points.
only
2
a
points
little bit behind. Yeah,
Wolf
2
and
points.
3 behind Flying Colors. And don't forget, they just have to tie Flying Colors, right? Doesn't matter what the record is.
That's right. As long as they tie with Flying Colors,
Yeah.
then there's no crossover.
The first tiebreaker is if 4-4 from each division. That's the first tiebreaker. So if you're
That's
tied
right.
with the fifth place team, the fifth place team loses out, and we got 4-4 from each division. So yeah,
That's
so
right.
basically they're only 2 points behind the Wolfpack, and they got to catch the Flying Colors.
Absolutely.
All right, so that kind of leaves us with the Bossy division now done. Lightweight division is all done now, which is going to lead us to the segment of the show, to the fancy stats. So we're back, and we're going to do a little bit of the fancy stats, see what Fancy has to say about what's going on in the NCZ. As we know, she always knows all. The only thing I'm seeing this year is even Fancy is taking a beating, I believe, from COVID.
Yep.
COVID is really skewing Fancy's numbers, so I'm not sure just how clear of a read she's getting compared to other seasons. It's, I mean, it's still a ballpark figure, but I think if there was a year that Fancy's calls might be skewed a little bit, it would be this one. What do you think, Al? Fair?
Yeah, that's a fair call. It's been kind of weird, the Fancy stats this year so far. So
Still
we'll
in
see
the
how it
ballpark.
goes.
I think
It's still pretty close.
Still in the
Yeah.
ballpark for overall.
But I think in the top 4 or 5 teams could
Yeah. Oh, it could be
swap and
anywhere.
switch. I mean,
Agreed.
any of them could be. It could turn upside down by the end of this week. Like it's just. It's more of a crapshoot this year than anything else. But I think the top 4 or 5 teams I think are in the ballpark. They're the ones that should be up there for sure.
All right. So who do you think came in at fifth place?
5th place.
No cheating on your computer, you bastard. Coming in fifth place, same team as last week. Moves Like Jagger is the 5th place team. Now, the standings say that they're the second best team in the NCZ right now, but Fancy is holding true to her guns. That Moves Like Jagger is only the 5th best team in the league, sporting a 49-23-3.
Yeah, I think his team's a lot better than that record dictates there. I think you'll see him climb up in the Fancy stats in the next couple of weeks here for sure, I think.
Well, he also has a huge trade that's in the what would you call it? In the hopper.
In the bullpen.
Yeah, in the bullpen. That's actually sitting on the commissioner's desk right now. It's going to be a late night for the commissioner. Well, one of the co-commissioners here tonight doing a lot of editing, and I'll be doing another couple trade videos after this is over as well. So. His team could look a lot different with that trade. It's a good looking trade for the Moose Like Jagger.
Yeah, that trade looks like it's going to definitely solidify his team and give him a little bit of a leg up.
Oh, we're giving such a teaser here.
I know.
What it is.
They're gonna have to wait for your trade podcast.
You're gonna have to wait for one of my videos to come out, and I think Keith is gonna come out pretty good out of this trade as well. It's what he needs for what he's doing right now, right?
Absolutely.
So father and son swing a deal there. It's a big one, but you'll have to wait to find out to see. So anyway, we got Moves Like Jagger sitting in 5th spot, which is exactly where they were sitting last week. So yeah. And in 4th spot, we got the kid, the other kid. This kid's not
the other kid.
Well, yeah. Bilake, Calgary Oilers coming in 4th spot. They are 51-20-4. So good looking team there for the Calgary Oilers, but they're still sitting at 4th spot there. So they're definitely in the top 5 contention.
Yeah, definitely. Again, he's got a decent team. Could move up in the next couple of weeks in Fancy stats as well.
But this is an all or nothing season for Blake. That is one thing I should point out. I have mentioned a few times on a few of the podcasts how Ryan Driscoll left his team pretty bare, but Blake went and did a few moves and replenished again. But because of the replenishing this year, there's going to be a rebuild period, and it could be a long one.
Yeah, he's gonna have a few years of rebuilding after this year with the deals that he's made. It's gonna be a long, hard road for the next few years.
So Blake is shooting the water early.
Yeah.
All right.
Just like the young kids, eh? All gusto, just go straight ahead and see what happens.
So our youngest member is 5th overall, and our second youngest member is 4th overall. All right, those young 20s guys, you got to watch out for them, I tell you. This one was a bit of a surprise to me, dropping down into 3rd spot in the fancy ratings is none other than the Living Skies Capitals. Fancy sees you at 52, 19, and 4. What do you say about that? Else you dropped your spot.
Yeah, well, it happens. It was not a good week for me. I managed to get 2 wins out of it, but it was definitely what's that?
Key. That's definitely the key. You can have a bad week and still win both games, and you see that for sure.
Absolutely, yep.
But
a lot of the other teams, if they were playing me this week, I could have gone 0-2 if I wasn't, depending on the matchups. I definitely could have gone 0-2 this week very easily.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to play the Islanders this week. They were obviously hot winning a game this week. They're on fire. What a
hot streak.
Week. Oh, man, I tell you, I hate tanking, man. It's so frustrating. It's more frustrating than trying to win. It's just,
that's true.
Another team dropped a spot this week as well. The last week's number 1 overall, Harrison Lakers, fell a spot. They're still looking good at 51, 16, and 8, but are now fancy season is the second best team in the league.
Yeah. Yeah, he's still got a strong team. He's, he deserves to be up there. So it's one bad week, and see how he returns from that this week, and he could be climbing back up to the top again. Who knows?
That's true. That's very true. Like we said, who knows? He could run the gambit for the rest of the season right now.
Absolutely.
This whole thing. All right. So that means we have a brand new number 1. Who could it be?
I'm going to guess it's going to be them damn New Brunswick Bears.
I would guess you're right. Dan the man who hates fancy. The man who does not like fancy. Fancy says that Dan is number 1. Well, I guess fancy don't know fuck all, does she? She must be so wrong right now. Right, Dan?
I'm sure Dan will say, no, I like fancy.
Dan pops in with a record of 54, 18, and 3 and moved up from 3rd place in last week's fancy rating. So congratulations to the New Brunswick Bears going into 1st overall for the fancy stats. Break that down points wise. It's a lot closer than it sounded having it broken up. I'll just give you an example here. MLJ is at 102, Calgary Oilers at 106, Capitals at 108, Lakers at 110, and the New Brunswick Bears at 111. So that's pretty damn close between all 5 teams.
Pretty tight, all 5, definitely.
Yeah. So we could have some really jumbled throughout the rest of the season for fancy stats. It's going to be interesting to see how that works out.
Yeah, I think you're going to see this pattern of changes in fancy stats. It's not going to be Lakers at the top for the whole season like it was in other years. It's going to be
yeah. Now what year was that? Was that 2014 or
I just pick one.
2016 or was that? No, didn't he win in 2018 too or something?
Yeah.
This is getting ridiculous, people. Somebody out there has to beat Renee this year. I'm telling you. You should see him the WCHP right this year. He is absolutely destroying everybody.
Good.
He's killing everybody. All right, so that takes care of fancy stats for this week. So next up in the segment, we know what comes is, are you a pretender or are you a
Contender.
That's right. Or guess what? We got something new for you to show this week. We actually have some contenders this week. So see you soon. Okay, so we're back with the are you a pretender or are you a contender category here. We're going to start with something new this week because we haven't had any all year. And I know I may have been pushing the envelope this week, but I came up with a bunch of contenders this week. So for the first time ever, we got our first contenders. Maybe you can let me know. So I think the obvious first contender who's in a spot that he shouldn't be would obviously be the Harrison Lakers. I mean, 51, 16, and 8. They're in tied for third place in the Bossy division. I think they are a contender.
Oh, they're definitely a contender.
Should be much higher than their tied for third place spot. Would you not agree?
Absolutely. They should be definitely higher than they are, and definitely a contender and one to watch out for the rest of the season.
I would think so, man. If he wins 4 in a row, I don't know. Like, seriously. I think my favorite part was when Ryan Kelly said to me, he goes, I'll call Brady and let them know that, it's 7 in a row. And
that's right.
Yeah. I freaking laughed. That was hilarious. Another guy I'm going to say is a contender that he could be in the right positioning in his division, but his record should be better. And I'm going to go with Colwood Rangers at 41, 29, and 5. And they may be a third place team, but I also thought they could have competed for top spot in the division. I think the record should be better than 41, 29, and I'm going to blame it on COVID. So that's why I'm putting the Rangers into the contender category.
Yeah, they have a strong team, and like you said, last week with COVID taking them out was a bad week for them, but definitely have the potential to sit there or maybe even move up a spot and definitely make the playoffs.
I would agree with that for sure. Another team that I also think is in a contender position, but it's not a big. They're not way off from where they should be, but I still think they should be a little better than where they are. I'm going to go with Port Elgin Wolfpack at 34, 29, and 12. This is a 500 hockey club that is not in a playoff spot right now. And I believe the Flying Colors is something like 10 games under 500 on the fantasy stats along those lines. So I really believe that Portland Wolfpack, even though they're in fourth spot, I do believe they are a fourth place team, but I do believe they should be a playoff team. And I'm gonna put them in the contender category. And I do believe by the end of the year that the Wolfpack will take out Flying Colors.
Yeah, I think they're definitely a fourth place team. He's got the right players there, and like you said, they've got a good record, but he should solidify that fourth spot there. I think in the next couple of weeks, you'll see him probably solidify that. And like you said, it's gonna be a fight for Flying Colors to try and knock him out of that position.
I would agree. I would definitely agree. So it'll be interesting to see what how Bo's team does progress. It was tough for him because he strengthened his team for this last week and then ended up not having the greatest of weeks, which kind of hurt him. But I think everything was straight for sure.
Yeah.
Another team I'm going to put into the contender category, and only reason they're making the contender category is because they suck so freaking badly. And that would be West. Like West, your Flames are 27, 39, and 9. And you're what is he, the third worst team in the league right now?
I think so.
4 points?
Yeah.
Yeah. 1 win and 2 ties? Or did he get a win last week?
One I can't. No, he lost both last week.
Yeah, he lost both his games. Like
yeah.
That's totally sucks. See what happened? You won Monahan off me for so long. Now you get to sign him for 5 years and you can't fucking get past 4 points. They're bad. They're bad. You can be better than that, Wes.
Yeah, he can. The team is definitely there, but whether he's going to be a contender or not remains to be seen. He's got to get up past flying colors, and he's got to hope that Port Elgin, the Wolfpack there, stumbles as well. So he's got those two teams that he's got to push past to get into a playoff spot, and there's not much time to do it. So if he has another bad week this week, it could be the end for him.
But you know what you say, Wes, when somebody says to you, you're down and out? Just look at them like this and go, not today. So yeah, I got Wes in there as a contender. So I got myself 4 contenders this week. I got the Lakers, the Rangers, the Wolfpack, and the Flames. All should be doing better than what they are in some way or the other. Like I said, the Rangers being in 3rd place, that may be their spot. That may have been where they would have ended up anyway. But the record definitely is wrong, just like the Flames record is wrong, and the Lakers record is right, other than being tied for 3rd, which should not be. So that would be it for the contender portion. Now, what about the Pretenders? Yeah, good group for sure. I like Pretenders. Chrissy Hines, right?
Yep.
And unfortunately, without being too harsh, because I just can't so many weeks in a row, there's only one team in the Pretender category. I've only got one that's in a spot that they shouldn't be in. And, you know, what can you say?
Who are you going to put there?
Oh, Garrow. I hate to do this to you. I guess it's not your fault for being in a playoff spot, but you are, and you shouldn't be.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. You're 24, 42, and 9. The Wolfpack is 34, 29. Yeah, you're a pretender, bud. If you can hang on to that spot for the rest of the season, I will be amazed.
Yeah, his record in the games played is definitely better than the fancy stats are indicating. He's a bottom 3rd team and he's sitting in a playoff spot.
500.
It's pretty rough.
Talk about getting the right draws at the right time. By the way, like I took a look just for the shits and giggles to see who else would have beat me last week. Only one team that I could have beaten last week, and I played them.
That was it.
Rangers. That was it. Everybody else, if I had played everybody else in the league, I would have lost every game. I think my record last week was 1-15.
I haven't looked at Flying Colors games, who he's played this
well,
so
he's pretty
far.
much went through the Bossy division already, and now he's starting to work through your division. And then for the last third of the year, he'll come back to the Bossy division again.
Okay. Right? So
that's pretty much what's happening. Is we're getting one full rotation through every
our division,
and then the last rotation.
The other one.
You might get 1 or 2 teams from the opposing division in the last game of the year. I can't remember. So you're basically playing your own division twice and the other one.
Right. Okay.
So that's it. We both agree. Garrow, you're just a pretender.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to,
again.
I would like to put in some Chrissy Hines music here, but then I got to deal with whatchamacallit.
Copywriting and
Hey, you know what? I'll just do it myself, Garrow. You're special, so special. I gotta have some of your attention. Give it to me now.
Yeah.
And on that note, I think we're going to exit the Pretender and Contenders, and we're going to look forward to some games of the week. Okay, so we're up at the ending of our This Week in the Zone, and we're going to be talking about the games of the week that you might want to look forward to next week, see what exciting is going on. Last week, we had a fantastic week with the Lakers going head-to-head with both Capitals and MLJ. So that was an exciting week. However, this week, there's not a lot of really key matchups this week. However, there are some important matchups, and the one that I will put in as the number one game would definitely be the Wolfpack versus Flying Colors. We've talked about it enough today, Al. What do you think?
Yeah, that's definitely, those are the two teams that are going to be fighting it out for that last playoff spot. So this is the week that they have to separate themselves, and going head to head, one's going to come out ahead. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to have my eye on this game all week long, watching to see how it
Yeah.
guys.
And the Wolfpack have a tough week because they're playing Flying Colors there, which is an important matchup, and they also got the Calgary Oilers, which isn't an easy walkover either. So I mean, they could potentially go 0-2 or 1-1. I mean,
Barrow can beat him, and he can even lose his second game. But if you can
Yeah.
beat him and have Wolfpack go 0-2, that's a little
Yeah.
bit of separation there, man. And then by time this week's over, we're past the halfway mark.
That's right.
Basically on the downhill slope, right?
and same for Flying Colors. Their second game isn't an easy one either. They've got the Sealand HC, who've been on a tear as of late. So they both have two pretty important games, but that one against each other there, that's the one that they need to be watching.
That's right. I'm gonna have to keep an eye on Sealand this week too. See exactly
Yep.
I'm gonna enter into this thing, and of course there's that Flames team that really sucks. All right, for our second game of the week is a good clash for me because I know you guys personally and you guys work together, so it's fun to watch you guys banter off each other. Got the East Coast Brewers against Living Skies Capitals. I just think that this right now is, if we were to break this game down, is the hottest team versus the best team right now. What do you think of this game?
Yeah, it's me and my battle buddy from Afghanistan going head to head here. So it's going to be an interesting game so far tonight. I think
Captain Dono and Captain Al.
I think I'm outdoing them tonight so far, but yeah, it's day one and it's a long week, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, it's a long week, and who knows who's going to go on COVID? Actually, there was a game postponed tonight. It was the Dallas game, but it's postponed due to weather.
Nashville, Dallas. Yep.
Now, who in Nashville or Dallas has got bad enough weather to cancel a freaking game? That's what when I heard that, I went, what the
Well, Texas had a bunch of snow and freezing temperatures down there, so their whole state is in a panic because they've got snow on the ground. So it's like the lowest recorded temperature since the 1800s or something. Like it's
What do you think? They're from Victoria or
exactly
the
whole
like that?
the whole state shut down because there was an inch of snow.
Pussies.
Yeah.
So that should be a good game. You got a little competition there in that one now, for sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough game, but yeah, I'm hoping to pull out the win.
Yeah,
because I think the other game I have this week is
would be the third game of the week, and that would be the Islanders and Capitals playing off for the COVID Cup. We can't see it. It's out of the pull back by your shirt. No, put it. Yeah, now you can see. Yeah.
There we go.
There we can see it. So we're playing for the Founder Cup this week. So normally I only do 2 games a week, but this week doing a third. So the Founder Cup is up for grabs. This year is the only time we've ever had a year where it's a 1-game playoff.
Yeah.
And so,
I like my chances.
You like your chances? Well, don't go count your chickens before they hatch, because I picked up Corey Schneider before this week to take you on, buddy. We're coming for you. We're coming for you.
I'm waiting.
So you won the Founder Cup last year.
I did.
You're looking for 2 years in a row, correct? Or
looking for the double.
Yeah, looking for the double. I don't think, has any of us ever? Yeah, you doubled. You doubled in year 2 and 3, I believe.
No, you doubled in 18-19.
Oh, I doubled. Okay, yeah. So this will be your first double if you get it, because I'm going to say right here, now, my goaltenders are not going to give up a goal this week because we're playing the Caps.
Yeah, that's quite possible.
They're ready for you, man. We know you're the best in the league. There'll be nothing going behind our behind our pipes. It's gonna be a good one.
You only got one goalie for the week, don't you?
What?
Who's your goalies?
Well, I got
Schneider and
Bishop.
Bishop.
Yeah.
And Bishop's on the IR, isn't he?
Told you weren't going to score any goals this week.
Kind of hard to score a goal on him if he's not there.
Well, there is a possibility. There is one possibility, and I don't even know if Trotz is going to do this or not. But Sorokin's going to play tomorrow. Now he might give Mr. Varley the day off because he's been doing so good for us lately, and insert Schneider into the backup role. And then if Ilya gets hurt,
well, you got the win and 2 points tonight from Schneider, so you're already ahead of me in goal in the goaltending department.
What are you talking about?
Didn't he play tonight?
Who?
Oh no, Schneider didn't play.
That was Varlamov.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. This is where your chance is. Trotz may not actually even dress Varlamov tomorrow, because I know Sorokin's playing tomorrow.
Oh, is he?
So he might put Schneider in as the backup, and then if Sorokin gets injured in the game tomorrow,
then Schneider might actually get to play.
there you go. Against Buffalo, he'll probably shut him out.
Oh, that would be my luck, definitely.
All right, there you have it for this week in the zone. I want to thank Al for coming along and co-hosting. Thanks, Al. It's a lot of fun.
Thanks for having me.
You betcha. And we also took care of a little business with the trade deadline, just in case nobody watched that one all. Go take a look at that video and find out about the trade deadline, which will be March 24th, with the regular season ending on the 28th. And you'll also learn a little bit about the trades when they are good for the next week's play. So other than that, I've got nothing else. You got anything else?
I got nothing.
All right. That's it for this week in the zone. I want to thank Al Gall, my guest co-host today. I'm TK, your host. It's been a blast. Take it easy, boys.